You're going to welcome everybody to another Rev Talk. We decided to take a card that has been drawn and analyze it and see what it really means to each of us individually. And after talking with Reverend Kim, it actually mirrors the same feelings I have. And I feel once we express all these feelings, you will see what we're talking about. And as you're trying to accomplish growth and enlightenment, you'll see that's the avenue to take. What do you think, Kim?
Oh, thank you. And again, we were having this discussion, and I apparently said a lot of really good things, and I don't remember a thing I said. But the card, okay, so the deck, I know, new deck alert. Oh, I know, I got scolded by Bev here. But it's the Elemental Empath by Miyuki Rose. And I suggested this to Reverend Bev because the book also has exercises that you can do, which I know you love doing exercises. Me, not so much. But the one, the card I picked this morning is Mirror. And the words at the bottom are, world is a mirror, notice patterns, clear blocks. One of the things that was mentioned, I don't know if it was necessarily for this card specifically, it is when we're triggered and we feel, anxious about something, or we're angry about something, or sad, or whatever. Sometimes, and I know I do it, is when we're on a path to better ourselves and to become enlightened. We don't want to admit those feelings. We don't want to admit that we're angry, or that we're mad at someone, or that we're sad about something. We always think, oh no, that's not an enlightened way to look. And I was reminded in this that, yes, you're allowed to feel those things because we're having a human experience. You're allowed to be angry, and you're allowed to feel it. You're allowed to be sad, and you're allowed to feel that. You're allowed those emotions that are deemed negative in some circles. You're allowed to feel that because it's part of being a human. It's part of our experience. It's part of what we're learning. It's when we dwell on it, or we hang on to it, or we use it, just to continue being in a crappy mood all day long. That's when you have to stop and say, okay, what's driving this to make it continue?
It's perfect, because that's exactly what I was going to say. And when you take an emotion, any emotion, good, bad, happy, sad, you honor it, but you actually turn it outward back into love. And it doesn't have to be the same thing that came into you, but your mind is telling it you now are love. And that was one of when we did A Course of Miracles that we had to read and learn, was to take situations, honor them, get angry with them, try to understand them, then turn it around and put it in the perspective you would like to see it in, which then turns it into a loving, and you can release it. And the more you do it, it's really simple. It's like you look at whatever's out there that's irritating you, and you just say, I'm sending you love. You do that all the time. I have had so much bombardment on my phone about the different things going on in the world that I don't even look at it anymore. I couldn't tell you what's going on, because you get caught up in it, and then the fear just grows and grows. Well, what's the opposite of fear? Love. So I start thinking, okay, I'm going to send love. I'm going to see this situation in a different light and find the good. There is always good in everything. For instance, there's always good in everything, even death. And you know how we miss the physical and we mourn, but the rising above and where they're at and out of whatever pain or whatever agonization that they were facing, they're in pure light and pure love. I don't care what level you see it as, whether it's religious, spiritual, or energy. It's the same synopsis. We are love. We were born in love. So all this stuff going on around us and we're taking in and getting angry is actually a good feeling to have because we sit with it, we understand it, and let it go. And that's actually getting easier and easier. And one of the things, again, that I'm starting to do when I really get irritated, just walk away and breathe. And by the third breath, I forget what I'm so upset about and I can go back to what I'm doing. And that's in any situation.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So it mirrors your
Well, that's the mirror. You're sending it out and bringing it
right.
back good.
I see. Okay. I get it. I know, and that makes sense. It does. It's a matter of being able to, and I guess that's part of it as well, to be
recognize it.
Mindful when you're angry, to first to pause before you open your mouth and you say something that you're going to regret later, to someone, because I know I do that. And then I think, oh, I should have just kept my mouth shut. So to be mindful of where you're at, always to be present. So that's, I guess that's really important. So even when you're angry, be present with that anger and allow and feel it and allow yourself to be angry for whatever reason, figure it out briefly, and then breathe into it. And yes, send it love. Thank you very much for bringing this to my attention. Yay. I'm allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to be sad.
That's an example when you go out and you see somebody and say good morning to them. Well, they get uplifted, good morning. Or you meet somebody at a coffee shop and they go, oh, I've had such a terrible day, and it just reams everything that's happened. Well, they're not in the right state of mind. So am I here to lift them up, or are they here to see me ignore that and talk about the good? I've found I'm doing that a lot more than trying to argue with people on things. I don't exactly change what they're saying, but I enlighten or lighten up what they're trying to negate.
Right.
And eventually the two will balance themselves out, and then it becomes all good energy.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Of course, I have to say to myself, I'm really good. I'm glad that I don't go out much. Okay, so maybe not necessarily the best example, but there it is.
I hibernate, yes.
I don't it's too peoply out there.
Yeah. I'm saying that all the time now, and especially now because my family's grown so much.
Right.
And I mean, when my one daughter comes over, it's not just her, it's the whole family. It's a lot of people and a lot of energies.
Yes.
You get them one-on-one, they're wonderful.
Other than that, it's chaos.
But it's good chaos because you think of the good, you say it, you rise above it.
Right. Well, and you see each one as an individual and their individual good parts. And
you only see the good. You look at the good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
So with that, we want to thank you for joining us on another Rev Talk. And we want to remind you to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself. And to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well.
Yeah.